What is up, YouTube? MCool40 here. We had some interesting news coming out today. We have 4 new cards to look at today, all coming from Collector's Pack 2018. Now, if we know the TCG, like we know the TCG, these are going to be bummed into some sort of special collection, or they might get dumped in as promos, or even possibly a new prize card. It's kind of the unfortunate thing that we face on the TCG side of the game when it comes to things like this. You know, you think we're going to get something really nice, and then they just outright bamboozle us and make it a prize card. So, please pray that some of these new cards don't end up being prize cards, because some of these are very interesting. There's some new vintage cards in here as well, Time Lords, Yugioh the Relentless. But let's dig into these, shall we? And of course, guys, always remember to like this video, show your support for the fat purple man himself. Alright, the first 2 cards we're going to be looking at here is Yugioh the Relentless and Sadion the Time Lord. Now, many of you should remember Yugioh the Relentless being played in the TV show by, I believe it was Duke Devlin, right, during the whole dice roll saga or whatnot. Man, if only they could have actually made that series actually work, it would have been nice. But what you are seeing here is a very beautiful 2, 4, 6, 7-star monster. We all know how these things tend to go. So, Yugioh the Relentless, 2500, 2450. And of course, once per turn, you can roll a dice 3 times. This card gains 100 attack and defense times the total result until the end of your opponent's next turn. Which, I'm not severely disappointed in that effect. It could have been much better, I'll be completely honest with you, because I also don't think that this has a special summon clause to it, so you're going to have to hard tribute it as well. But, I mean, it is an Earth Warrior. And then, if 2 of the results are the same, apply 1 of these effects, or if all 3 results are the same, apply all of these effects. So, if you get 2 of them, you're going to get all, or you get to pick one of these. So, 1 or 2. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you have the ability to create a pseudo-like boss monster, which is pretty good value. 3 or 4, you'll be able to draw 2 cards. And then 5 or 6, this card can attack your opponent directly. I mean, best case scenario, if you roll 3 6s on this, you have an 1800 boost on top of your 25, which puts us at, what, 4300? It can attack your opponent directly, and you get the ability to draw 2 cards. That seems like really good value to me for a boss monster. It's very anime-esque for what we've kind of come to know and love from Yugioh. But I'm still not a huge fan of these dice rolly effects. They could be a lot better in my opinion, but take it with a grain of salt, because they are basically converting one of Duke Devlin's effects into the actual game. And then the next one, you know what we have down here? This is a 10-star 4000 Time Lord. Thank you, Konami. Just a little bit more, we can get there. We're still missing 3 or 4 of these to actually be good. So, this Time Lord, Sadion the Time Lord, 4000, cannot be special summoned from the deck. Of course, every one of these has that effect. You can only control 1 of these at a time. Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't want to have more than 1 4000 beater on the field at a time. If your opponent controls a monster, while you do not, you get to normal summon this guy without tribute. We've kind of come and know and love this effect. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Any battle damage inflicted to either player from a battle involving this card becomes 0. Man, why did you have to go and throw that clause on there? I can't attack my opponent directly for 4000? It's literally just a very large body for no real reason. I'm actually kind of shocked that they made him so big, but I'll take it. And then at the end of the battle phase, in which this card battled, you have to inflict 2000 damage to your opponent. So basically, you have the 4000 body, you attack your opponent directly, your opponent basically is going to take 2000 during the end phase. This is literally just a supersized boss monster that can get over anything and not give you any sort of repercussions about it. And then, once per turn during your standby phase, he gets to teleport back into the deck. Pretty much like any of your average Time Lords. This card isn't bad. I would have loved to have... I love the Time Lord concept. they still need a little bit more. The ability to tribute and special summon one from the deck is great, but we now have a 4,000 body that can get over anything and inflict 2,000 to the opponent. I mean, I guess I can't be extremely disappointed with that because it is Yu-Gi-Oh! But not a bad card overall. I'm going to say both of these aren't bad, but really this one's shit, and I kind of like this one for the archetype, but it's still Time Lords at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Alright, moving on along to the last two cards down here. Now, if you've been watching the anime, you should know about Topological Gamble Dragon, and we got a new beautiful support card for our friend Photons and Galaxies. Now, we all know how great rank 8s are. We know how hard they are to bring out in a game, but we still have to talk about them because they need a little bit of love. So it is Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. So it's Light Warrior, Xyz 2,500, 3,000. For a Galaxy Lord, you think that'd be a bigger stat. So, 2 level 8s to make it. Thank you, Konami, you didn't butcher that one. You can only use the second or third of this guy with his card name once per turn. Number 1 cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has a Photon Xyz material. So, they're granting you some sort of immunity right off the bat, which is kind of nice. I can still run over this thing in battle though. When your opponent's monster effect is activated, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate that activation, and if the detached material was a Galaxy card, destroy the activated card. So, interesting that they decided to slap on the clause of, hey, you have to combine the 2 of these together in synergy. I guess as a rank 8 boss monster wanting to focus on the archetypes, this card's kind of booty for that clause for having to play both, because Photon and Galaxy, but I mean, hey, if you detach a Galaxy, you get to actually destroy it. And then, let's see here, during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can activate this effect, choose 1 Photon or Galaxy card in your deck, and if you do, either add it to your hand or attach it to this card as material. So I personally really like this effect because you can search for anything that you need from the deck. Kind of sucks that you can't do it on your turn. I feel like they definitely wanted to limit your general sensibility, being able to combo off on your turn, but I can attach a material to load up a negation on your turn, which is actually pretty nice. Something a little bit more I would expect from something like this. This card overall, once again, it's not that great. I'm sure somebody will find some way to abuse it, being a rank 8 or a link 8, but not a super big fan of it. Now the big one, Topological Gamble Dragon. You guys saw this week in the anime. A very, very interesting card. It is, in fact, a Link 4. All of its Link arrows go like so. And then it requires 2+ effect monsters. You can only use either this card's 1 or 2 effect once per turn, and only once per turn. If this card is already in the monster zone, if another monster is special summoned to a zone a Link monster points to, discard any number of cards randomly from your hand, max 2, then your opponent discards the same number. Interesting that they put some sort of limiter clause on that. You don't want your opponent burning out their entire hand turn 1. I will give it to Konami. When I first read this card, I was like, oh man, it's kind of cool. But they did put a limiter on this, which is actually very nice. Thank you for that. And then if this card is extra linked, you can have your opponent discard as many cards from their hand as possible, up to 2 cards. In addition, if your opponent's hand becomes 0 with this effect, inflict 3,000 damage to your opponent. Once again, limiting that discarding your opponent's entire hand. The entire anime effect was your opponent discards as many cards from their hand as possible, and in this case, up to 2. And then you would just burn your opponent for 3,000. Fucking free value, right? They didn't want to make a boss monster. They did put a lot of limitations on this, which is actually very nice. I'm fine with how this turned out, because now Link 4s have the ability to make the opponent discard cards, which is actually pretty interesting. I gotta see where this is going to go, if this will even see competitive play. I don't think this will, but in terms of the most interesting cards from here, Topological Gamble Dragon definitely gets it. I'm definitely intrigued to see where this goes. So, What do you guys think about the new cards? Please leave a comment down below. I will also have a link to the organization article so you guys can check out the new cards as well. And I'm out, guys. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.